Hi, good morning, all. Now, I guess in case you can't hear me, Miguel may still have the mic muted. He hasn't given me control.
I can hear you.
Okay, great. How's everybody's week?
Great.
I know y'all were so excited about all the stuff I sent y'all to do, right?
Oh, that was a lot.
I don't say it like that. It wasn't that much now. Come on. That wasn't really that much. Was everybody able to use the Hewlett Packard business calculator I saw? That I gave you guys to look at?
Yes, good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Miguel, are you still there?
Yes, good morning, sir. I'm still here for about 15, 20 more minutes.
All right, do I have,
An exam. All right.
okay, do I have control of the meeting?
Yeah, you should have. I made you host, so everything is set. It's all yours, so you're good to go.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, all. How was your week? I sent you guys a lot of material this week. I know, trying to get a little bit ahead of the game. I told you we can speed it up a little bit this week. I sent you some problems we had to do. Did everybody have a chance to look at those problems and work through them? And I know all y'all bashful, so don't answer all at the same time.
Good morning. I was able to watch the videos. I watched and I went through them over and over. Yeah.
All right, did you find them helpful?
It really was.
All right, I mean, like I said, you know, as a supplement to your classwork, what I have found, anything you're probably looking for, you can find that material on YouTube. So don't be bashful to use YouTube as for school. Man, what, did I just say something bad? Actually use YouTube for schoolwork, not entertainment. So were you guys able to get into the emulator that I sent you guys with regard to the Hewlett Packard business screen? Can everybody see my screen? Come on, guys, I'm gonna need some feedback from you. Yeah, let me know you're out there.
Yes, I could see a screen.
Okay, all right. This is the business calculator that I was talking about. This is how it looks. All right, and I sent you this emulator, so in case you're getting ready to buy one of these, it takes a little getting used to in terms of how to put in problems and so forth like that and set it up. So having said that, I would like to start the class by maybe going over 5 of the problems that I sent you guys to work through. I will be even so kind as to let you guys pick the problems that you want to go through in case anybody had any problems working through them. Is there anybody who want to pick a problem that they may have worked and didn't understand that we could maybe go through?
Good morning. I wouldn't say that I didn't understand, but because I didn't have the calculator, I just had to dash out this morning and get it. I think it was number 6. I'm trying to find my paper. And I do apologize that I'm joining a bit late, but like I said, I had to dash out. So I think you were showing them how to use the calculator.
Well, I just have it up on the screen while I'm looking at something else now, trying to find the problem that I sent you guys. As you see, I have a lot of information stored here.
Morning, Mr. Donaldson. I wasn't able to receive any of the emails. That's the general one we get from Mr. Pratt every Saturday morning.
What is your email address? Well, let me see. First of all, is this, to whom am I speaking?
Trinique.
Trinique, because I was, Trinique Kelly, right, Trinique, what is your email address?
Trinique _0910 at Hotmail.
Trinique _0910
At Hotmail.
Okay, I may have gotten it wrong because where they have other lines, I may not have picked up the underscore. I will correct that now.
Okay, and that's TRENIQUE.
Okay, I will correct that and make sure that that comes to you.
Okay.
All right. You'll see. You'll do it. Time out in something. Okay, I'm opening up a problem here. Okay, can everybody still see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, now, there was a lady, you said number, which one did you want me to go over with you? Is it number 6? I'm sorry, there was a lady, I think it might have been Ms. Odom, was that you, Ms. Odom, you may have said, given apologies for joining late and that there was a problem that you needed to go over.
You heard me? Sorry.
No, I didn't.
Oh, I'm number 6.
Okay. What will 153,000 go to be in 13 years if it is invested today in an account with a quoted annual interest rate of 10% with monthly compounding of interest? Anybody wants to start the ball rolling on that? What do we find? What do we determine first? Ms. Odom, let me hear you. attempted to approach this problem. So we could see where you may have gone wrong or what was the problem. 153,000.
Okay, like I said, I think my challenge would have been because I didn't have the calculator. I just dashed the purchase in. So it says what will 153 grow to be in 13 years if invested today in an account with a quoted annual interest rate of 10% with a monthly compound interest. So basically, I know now that we're looking for an answer for future value.
That is entirely correct.
And so we want to know in 13 years, what will the 153? Now the 10%, we know that this is compound interest and it's being paid monthly. So I know that I needed to divide this 10%, which will work out to be, I think, about 0.8 something or 3 something. I'm not too certain.
Okay.
And so I guess for me, my challenge would have been working it out on the compound interest because, you know, each year now, the amount will change because you have to add the interest to the principal and then you would have to work it out again. And so that's where my challenge came in. I thought the sheet would have worked better for me since I didn't have the calculator.
Great. You ain't gonna be able to do this without the calculator. Will the calculator be allowed into the exam? Yes. I suggest everybody get one? Yes. Okay, now, is this the calculator you bought now?
I'll share my I'll open my video and show you.
Okay, put it up closer to the screen. What is the brand on it?
This is saying Texas Instrument, a
That's a
BA.
TI. Okay, that's a TI now. I don't know exactly how to enter it. You'll have to familiarize yourself with it. But this is the calculator that I work with. I got another one here. This is a Hewlett Packard financial. Is a little bit like yours, but it's a business calculator. They're practically the same thing. Okay.
So maybe you want to send that brand to us then, if that one is better. So, you know, we all could be on the same page.
I'm not saying it's better. I'm just saying you're gonna have to learn some of the nuances of it. Okay, here is my Hewlett Packard that looks like the one that's on the screen. This Hewlett Packard is a collector's item. This probably older than everybody who is now on this class. I've had this over 40 years, and I was about 20 years old. There's a little guy who works with me who's always trying to steal my calculator. Hide it. Okay? Because this calculator older than him. He's about 30 years old, but he always wants to steal my Hewlett Packard. Now, so there's an abundance of calculators. They range at about $40. Okay? Believe you me, as you go on with your careers, because each one of you are in the financial. The computer is good. Everybody uses phone nowadays. So there are business calculators that you could download onto the phone, an app. However, you cannot take your phone into the exam. So having said that, you could go and research, it's called a business calculator.
I think they said it's an open book exam, so we would be allowed to carry our little papers and all of that though.
Yes, let me tell you something, open book exam. All of y'all listening? Is everybody listening? I want everybody to acknowledge they're listening.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, open book exam. On the surface, they sound very good. they're one of the most difficult type of exams to take. You know why? They trick you. You go in and you're trying to answer the question and you're thumbing back and forth looking for answers and you're wasting time. The likelihood of you being able to finish this exam in the allotted time is slim enough. Here is my suggestion for sitting an open book exam. Rip through that exam and answer every question you can from what your basic knowledge is. The reason being, you don't want to get so caught up in answering questions that you're going to spend a lot of time researching back and forth. That there are questions that you could have easily answered that you didn't get to. That's leaving food on the table. Rip through this exam and go through and answer all of the questions you are able to from your working knowledge. Then go back and answer the questions that you're going to do research for. Dimitri, what I said?
You said use your general knowledge to answer as much questions as you know at first, and then use the remainder of your time to review what you don't know and search what you don't know, because you don't want to miss questions you knew the answer to, wasting time searching for 1 or 2 questions at the beginning.
All right. Every class I taught, I've given that advice. It's true. Open book might sound like a gift, is not. It really is not. It is a trap. Having said that, 153,000, 153,123 present value. Interest rate 10. Enter. 12 divide. See, that is why I want you to get familiar with this. The input on this calculator is a little bit different. That's I. The number of period is 13 years and 12 times. N, that's the number of it. The future value, 558,383.38. Is that the answer, Ms. Aude?
I got lost. on
You
my-
could go over, you could go over the steps again, please.
Yes, ma'am. When we get any type of time value problem, what are the 3 things we determine first? What is the I? What is the N? And what is the PD of FD? Yeah?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. So in this problem, you got $153,000 for 13 years at an annualized rate of 10%, with interest being compounded monthly. So let's line this up, which Ms. Oatley did originally and correctly. All right. Was that Ms. Raming who came on to ask you to review what is what? Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do, what is N? Somebody tell me what is N?
Wait a minute.
You're gobbled. Please excuse me.
The N would have been the 156 because it was monthly. That's 12 months in a year, 13 years.
That's correct. So let me go back to the screen with the calculator. All right. Okay, let me clear this off. Okay, so what she is saying is that 13 years, but we know because it's being compounded monthly, every year is 12 months. So we're going to multiply that by 12. You come up with 156 periods. That's what they call them. N equals to period. Great. You got N. How do we find I?
It tells us there to 10%, but we know that we have to divide that also.
So it's 10, enter, 12, divide. That's I. What is this a future value problem is out there?
Yes, it is,
How do you know that?
because it asks, what will it be in 13 years?
In other
So we're
words,
trying
in the future.
future.
So they gave us the present value, which is 153,000. Yes? Present value. So they're asking me, I give you all this, tell me what the future value of this is going to be. And it's 558,386. Yes? So I looked at my answers, 558,386.38. Now, I broke that down and explained that to you. This problem, to get to this solution, should take you under a minute. Once you're familiar, see that computer, that little calculator saves you many times. You ain't got to go look for no future value tables and nothing like that. Once you know how to set the problem up and what you are looking for. Okay, somebody else got another problem. I want to do 5, then you got to push on, guys. Anybody else? Okay, I want to pick a problem a little bit different where they're asking you rather than they ask you to solve for I or solve for the number of periods. Okay, look at number 7. How many years will it take for 197,000 to grow to 554,000 if it is invested in an account with a quoted annual interest rate of 8% with monthly compounding of interest? Who's my C-file employee here? Who that is? Who works for C-file?
That would be me, Miss.
Okay, Mr. Larry, this is yours. Let me just knock this ball of the park.
197.
197 is what? Is this a future value, present value? What type of problem is it?
It's a present value.
Okay, yes, sort of like, but anyway, yes. So we got the present value and we got the future value. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
554. 1, 2, 3. What else do we have in this problem?
The interest rate,
That's correct, which is,
the 8%,
that's correct. Do we have the compounding period?
Yeah, it said monthly.
Correct. Okay. So if we got all that, what are we solving for in terms of the N, the I, the PV, and the FV? What don't we have?
The end,
That's correct. Who was that?
Candrace.
That's correct, Candace. You do not have the N. Everybody sort of like see where that is. You got the PV, that's 197. You got the FV, that's 554. You got the I, which is 8. What we do not have is the N. That is what they asking. How many years or periods? All right, I am gonna go back to the calculator. Anybody want to take a stab at telling me what I put in and so forth?
So we probably could calculate the interest and just annually know how much our,
Okay, how would I get the interest factor for this problem?
and that'll be the 8%.
Okay, 8, yes,
Divided by the 12.
that's correct. Because it's monthly compounding. So we got I. What else do I have? Do I have the PV?
Yes, that's
With
the 97,000.
197. Do I have the FV?
So 554,000.
Right, now 5, 5, 4, 1, 2, 3. One of the idiosyncrasies of this calculator, I gotta change the sign on it and make that negative. Right? FV. So I got the I, the PV, the FV. So all I need is N. Let it solve for N. 156. What do you think I should do with that 156?
Divided by 12.
Well, Dimitri, go to the head of the class. It'll take me 13 years. Why did you divide it by 12, Dimitri?
Because the 156 represented the monthly factor, and it was asked, the question asked for the years.
That is correct. That is correct. Read the question very carefully. Answer would be, because they could have left it how many periods? And if you would go ahead and divide it by 12 and put in 13, even though you're correct, if they wanted it in years, it would be wrong because they wanted it in periods. They do little things like that. Let's look at the question. Answers.
Mr. Donathan, I guess this is the part where they would say, answers for dummies. I missed the part where you got the one.
Hey, get on my class, man. That's my class. That's the class I be in. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I just missed that part where we got the 156. I was trying to follow it and just trying to familiarize myself with this calculator, but I probably just need to stay focused.
Not a problem, man. Not a problem. That's what I'm here for. We had the situation set up, right? So when we solved for N came back with 156 P. That's what the calculator said. Dimitri correctly pointed out that, hey, there's 156 monthly periods. In order to get the years, you got to convert this into years by dividing by 12. You there, Ms. Oden?
I'm there, but I'm trying to see how, I understand when you converted the 156, which was the period, but I'm trying to see how did you get to 156?
Oh, that's what you want. Okay, I was 8. And 12 divide. Because the annual interest rate is 8, but the monthly compounding factor is, the compounding factor is monthly. You got that so far? Ms. Oden?
Yes, I have that.
Stay on the line, stay on the line. You got I. We know what the present value is. The present value is 197,000, right? That's given in the problem. Yes?
Yes.
And the future value is 554,000. Now, one of the nuances with my calculator, I gotta change that into a negative figure. Because if they look at it as being an O, so you're gonna take it off. So that's gonna be the future value. You got that, Miss Oden?
Yes.
After that, all I do is hit N on the calculator and the calculator calculates it.
Oh. Oh. That's what you did.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, I missed that piece.
That's okay. That's okay, man. We all in here to help each other. I mean, I'm here to coach you. Now, I'm going back to the question, last question. We solved for the period. I want to try and find something that we got to solve for I.
You say you looking for something so we can look for I?
Yeah, well, we got to
Would
solve.
that be question 8?
Let me see. Okay. Okay, Mr. Larry, read it for me and let's line it up. Let's go. Since you are correct, it is an I.
Okay, number 8. At what quoted annual interest rate must 134,000 be invested so that it will grow to be 459,000 in 15 years if interest is compounded weekly?
Wow. Wow. All right, Mr. Larry, go to town. What is my N in this instance?
15 years compounded weekly, so that'll be 52 weeks times 15 years.
You got it. 15 times 52. All right.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna switch to the calculator so you can tell me what it is. Okay. So I got it. F clears out all the memory and everything. So I do 15 years, enter. 52 times. That's my N.
Yeah.
Okay. What else do I have? Do I have the PV?
Yes.
What is the PV?
I don't have the questions in front of me, so let's go back, please.
Okay.
Would it be 134?
Okay, let me get the questions here. So let me write it down. At which rate is 134 being invested? That's right, 134,000. So that it will go to 459,000. Okay, you got those?
Yep.
Yeah, you got them? You got yourself lined up? All right, so what is my PV?
The 134,000.
What is my FV?
459,000.
Now, I'm
She
sorry,
said 439.
439 or 459?
59. I have
459, that's straight from the question. So you got that, Ms. Oden? Okay.
I can follow y'all to that. My daughter distracted me again. Y'all just go ahead. I can catch up.
No problem. So all I gotta do is hit this button. Oh, that ain't a good thing. I got, all right, F clear. So I got 15 years, wasn't it? 15 enter 52 times. That's n. Present value is 134 PV 459. I didn't change the sign. I want to see what's going on. One, 34.
No.
Again, my error. 450. Getting an error, guys. I gotta have to figure that one out. But basically on your calculator, once you put those in, I'm definitely putting in something wrong. Therefore, I'm getting this error on this calculator. But the concept is that once you can figure out the F, the V, the 9, and remember the compounding periods, this calculator will be able to do the rest for you. I'll figure it out. I'll probably come back to this next class. The time is of essence because I only got 4 classes this week. So please excuse me. I'll leave that. I'll come back to that, I promise you. Now, the next thing here is they're going to start getting into annuities.
So one question, you said that you're going to send us this calculator that you have on the screen?
Yeah, you could. It's easy to get the emulator here. Here is the thingamadrash right here. VICHINSKY. This is just an online. It's an emulator.
Could you copy and paste that in the chat, please?
Now look what you want to do to me.
Yeah, just highlight it. Yeah. You got it. Techie.
What do you want to do to me? That's it?
I haven't seen it come in the chat. Is there anybody else see it in the chat?
Got it?
Yeah, it just came through. Thank you.
Dimitri, if you don't mind, could you forward it into our chat group? Because I know you probably techie like that. And then I could just save it. Thanks.
Okay, no problem.
All right, guys. So I mean, when you see problems like this, I mean, maybe I'm being a little biased because I mean, I just call it gimme problem. It's a problem they give you. Because if you read it in on the calculator, bam, 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 you go on to the next question. All right. Everybody good with that so far? I'm going to press on. We're going to get into annuities now. concept of annuity. All right. Trinique, Ms. Kelly, you've been awfully quiet this class. You there?
I'm here.
Tell me what an annuity is. It's your own word. Huh?
In my own words, annuity would be, from what I can recall, the annuity amount would be the compounded amount over, still like over a particular period. That's how much.
Okay, let's break this down. First of all, what is an annuity? In your mind, what is an annuity? Yeah. What does the word annuity bring to mind for you?
Something annual.
Right, right. There you go. What else? Can someone add to that?
Payment annually.
One thing you're missing that I'm looking for. One little simple thing. And I know somebody can get it.
Well, let's say it's a fixed sum of money paid to someone each year.
That's what's been missing. It's a fixed set of money being paid on a regular basis and regular intervals. Okay? You got it. You got what I was looking for. Okay. Okay, we pass like discount rate and number of periods. You're on to page 6. All right, as you read through this, if there is anything, I mean, I'm not gonna read this whole thing. It's just something you read in the reading material. If you don't understand, please point me to it. I will take the time. I will do it at a higher level where I give you the concept and then you work through questions. Okay? So this exam, when you're done with this course, before they set the exam, I would tell you one thing, get as much questions and practice, practice, practice. All right, this is when they get into multiple cash flows, future value of multiple cash flows. Suppose you deposit 1,000 a day in an account paying 7%. In 1 year, you will deposit another 1,000. How much will you have in 2 years? This particular problem is relatively easy. At the end of the first year, you will have the 1070, which is the initial principal plus the interest. You deposit for a total of, when you deposit the next $1,000, then you'll have 2070. You leave this deposit 2070 and deposit at 7% for another year. At the end of the second year, it is worth. Okay. There you have the calculation. There you have the calculation. Now, I'll show you something. Okay, 2 years. And what is the interest rate? They say? Guys, I'm reading right from the question.
7%.
Okay. you have, okay, and an account paying 7%. In 1 year, okay, so $1,000, 7%. So it's gonna be 2 years, 1,000. Change signs because it's a payment. See that thing here, PMT? 7% is your I. So your future value is going to be, no, it can't be that. No, definitely can't be that. 1 change sign payment, N is 2. That 7 is the I. There you go, 2070. So what they're looking at, equal payments, you in this calculator, you put it in as a PMT. So future value with multiple cap. All that is, every year you make equal payments every year. Suppose that was 15 years. You would have made 15 equal payments annually of $1,000. It's earning 7%, and all the interest you get will be reinvested. Let's look at it this way. Suppose now, I'm going to clear this out. It still remains $1,000. Change sign because it's a payment out. 7% is your I. And now instead of 2, you got 15 years you're doing this for. Yes? Your future value would be $25,129. You would have, over those 15 years, you would have paid out $15,000, but on the interest and compounding alone, you would have earned an extra $10,000. Now, they do the reverse. Present value with multiple cash flows. Very often, we need to determine the present value of a series of cash flows. As with the future value, there are 2 ways we can do it. We can either discount back one period at a time. Now that's 15 years, you would have to take that. The 15 payment discounted back for 14 periods. The 14 payment discounted back for 30 periods. You would have to do them all individually in order to find out what is the present value of each one of those. We can either discount back one period of time, or we can just calculate the present value individually and add them up. Suppose that you need $1,000 in 1 year and $2,000 more in 2 years. If you earn 7% on your money, how much do you have to put up today to exactly cover these amounts in the future? In other words, what is the present value of the 2 cash flows at 7%? They give you an example. First of all, you take the $2,000 and you discount that back for 2 years at a discount rate of 7%. You find the present value of that. The present value of that works out to be 1,746. No, I lied. Yeah, 1,746.88. The present value of the 1,000 in 1 year is 934. Now, what you have to do, therefore, the total present value is 1,746 plus a 934 is 2,000. 681. Those are the present value of those two streams of cash that's anticipated in those years. Now, in this instance, this is not an annuity because it has unequal cash flow amount. This example illustrates that the present values of a series of future cash flows is simply the amount that you would need today to exactly duplicate these future cash flows for a given discount rate. An alternative way of calculating present values for multiple cash flows is to discount back to the present value one period at a time. For example, suppose we had an investment that was going to pay $1,000 at the end of every year for the next 5 years. That's an annuity. That's easier to do because that's equal cash flow sum. To find the present value, we could discount each $1,000 at the end of every year for the next 5 years. To find the present value, we could discount each 1,000 back to the present value separately and then add them up. This figure below illustrates this approach for a 10% discount rate. There you have it. They have done everything that's a year. Now suppose this was for 20 years. Okay. Valuing level cash flows. That's what they call equal cash flows. Let me pause for a moment here. Is anybody lost so far? Please. Okay, I think that is everybody is hanging in there so far. Now, level cash flow. Investors and lenders often encounter situations where they have multiple cash flows that are all the same amount. Encounter situations where they have multiple cash flows that are all the same amount. For example, a very common type of loan repayment plans call for the borrower to repay the loan by making a series of equal payments for some length of time. Almost all consumer loans, such as car loans and home mortgages, feature equal payments usually made each month. Is that true, Dimitri? All right. A series of constant or level cash flows that occurs at the end of each period for some fixed number of periods is called an ordinary annuity. Dimitri. All right. A series, I'll say it again. A series of constant or level cash flows that occurs at the end of each period for some fixed number of periods is called an ordinary annuity. Present value for annuity cash flow. Suppose we are examining an asset that promised to pay $1,000 at the end of each of the next 3 years. The cash flows from this asset are in the form of 3-year $1,000 annuity. In other words, you're gonna get $1,000 at the end of each year for the next 3 years. If we wanted to earn 15% on our money, how much would we offer for this annuity? All right. So I calculate, here's the way they work it out manually. But of course, I'm gonna do that. So here is, I'm gonna get payment out for the next, the payment is gonna always be 1,000. 3 is the end. The I is $15. I'm solving for the present value. 2,283.22. Go back to the question. They go through this formula and everything. They ain't gonna have no time in the exam to do and come up with the same answer. Any questions there? Any questions? Trinique, you with me?
Yeah, I'm following. That one, fine.
That one is fine, Paula? Paula, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, I'm following.
All right, Ms. Alden, you there?
I'm here. I'm a little lost, but I guess after class, I'll have to do some reading and catch up.
All right, ma'am, it's, all right, I can leave it there if you need. I mean, you can always email me or call me, Ms. Alden. I need you to get it.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Most situations have a large number of cash flows, making the above approach onerous. I mean, if you had to do it manually like this, you would imagine doing this. Suppose you are a 30-year bond. That paid interest semi-annually, like the government bond. You trying to find the present value of that. You ain't gonna do that. That's 60 calculation. And it turns out that the present value of an annuity of $N per period for T periods when the rate of return interest period is as given by annuity present value formula. You have to go figure that out. This is the same PV factor that we calculated before. You just, after you don't figure all that, everything you come with a PV factor. You are a loan officer and you are trying to determine the maximum amount that a prospective client can afford for a car loan. You have reviewed the prospect's budget and have determined that the maximum monthly payment possible is $500 per month. So you don't go on to Dimitri. Dimitri, where is it? Use the big loan officer and bank manager.
Yes, sir.
All right. So you don't do your analysis on this customer, look at his income, and determine that on a monthly basis, the most he could afford to pay for car loan is $500 a month. So you back into it. He come to you, Mr. Dimitri, I need a car. What sort of range price I have to look for a car? Before I go look for a car, you tell me what is the type of rate. This is what you're working. The going rate for a car loan is 12% per annum or 1% per month. Also, the maximum term is 36 months. How much can they borrow? All right. Now, to make you set this up for me, what factors do we have there, Dimitri?
We have the term, which is 36 months, 3 years. We have the interest rate, which is 12% per year or 1% per annum.
No, it ain't 1% per annum,
Sorry, 1% per month.
okay?
And then we have the maximum monthly payment possible, which is the $500 per month.
So what are we solving for?
We're solving to see how much the customer can actually borrow.
Right, so I can switch to my, you got those figures written down someplace, but you can tell me what to put in on my calculator.
Let me write them down 1 second. So interest rate, 10%.
That's all I gotta say. Yeah. Want me to change it? Will it be good?
36 months, 36 months. 36 months. Okay, so I have everything written now.
Give me 1 second. Now, okay, so you ready, Dimitri?
Yeah, so I think so.
Okay. Let's go. What is N?
And is 36 months.
Wait. I want you to start using the term period. Once we determine that, okay,
Okay.
yeah, that's N. What is I?
I is 12.
No what?
Well, are we using the monthly, the monthly? So it'd be 1%?
Yeah, I don't know. You tell me who's the bank manager.
One, let's go one.
Okay. All right. What else you got for me?
We have the maximum payment amount,
What is that?
500.
No, isn't it a little bit more than 500? It's 550 or something like that?
550, sorry, yes, 550.
Name sign, I put that in as a payment. I'm solving for the present value. 16,559 is what I come up with the guy could afford.
What's that function that you click to turn into negative? That's the CHS date?
Yeah, change sign. That's what that means. Change sign.
Okay, change sign. Okay. 16,559,127. Okay.
Oh. My calculator right now.
Yeah. Pardon me? The answer on the sheet is different from the calculator.
Okay. All right, so let's see what they got. They got 15,055, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So payment possible is, oh no, it isn't 550, it's 500. I put in 550 as the payment.
Yes, sir.
500 is change sign payment. Let's calculate again. Is that the correct answer?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, now, that calculator, suppose you were trying to work all the way through this problem like this, you wouldn't be able to. Okay. Trinique, you there, Trinique?
Yes,
Okay, all right, you can handle this one, finding the payment. Suppose you wish to start up a new business that specializes in the latest of health food trends. Bush tea. Now, you know, we from the island, so we should be good at bush tea. All right.
Okay,
To produce your product, Island Blend, you need to borrow $50,000. The interest rate is 15%, and there are 5 years. The payments are all equal. So we need to find the relevant annuity factor and solve for the unknown cash flow. Do you understand what you're solving for?
1 second. Okay, I have my I.
Oh, go ahead, Trini. Go ahead. What is your I?
My I is the 50%.
Is that annual or
Okay, so that is annually for 5.
because it doesn't state, whenever they don't state a compounding period, you just assume it's annual.
Okay.
So wait, I'm going to the calculator. So, okay, now let's start it again. What do you have?
The interest, the I is 15%.
15 is I, okay.
But that's annually for 5 years.
So what is N? What is the number of periods?
We have 5 years annually, so we have 5 periods.
There you go. All right. What else do you have?
We have our the future value amount we need to borrow.
Read the question. What does the question say?
We need to borrow 50,000. The interest rate is 15%. And there are 5 years. The payments are all equal. So we need to find the relevant annuity factor and solve for the unknown cash flow.
So is the 15,000, is that a future value or present value?
The 50,000 gonna be in our present value. Besides how much you need.
Let's see. You calculate the payment. 14,915.
916, they have to end.
Okay. Yeah. So what that means is, for you to get $15,000, $50,000, yeah, that is what your payment will be. Same thing with the mortgage. Suppose you needed to borrow $50,000 to buy your house. You got to pay it off in 5 years. And the rate is 15%. What's your monthly payment or annual payment?
Okay, I got you.
All right. Okay, Denitra, you there? Denitra. How about Maricel?
Morning.
Oh, Maricel. Come on,
I'm getting over a very horrible flu, so my voice is a bit short.
Okay, that is going around. You think you got enough voice to try? Have you been following with this? Is everything you catching or?
But where I missed last week's class, I was following the recording in the YouTube channel, but this is a little bit difficult. So I'm just going through it as you guys go through it. And then I'm reading up, and all of the videos that you sent, I've been watching them. So it's helping a bit, but I'm not comfortable yet.
Okay, fine, well, maybe there's practice. You're gonna have to keep on practicing. Are you well enough to try this other one, the future value for annuity?
Which one is that?
Have you been reading along in the book?
I got as far as where you guys stopped last week.
Oh, no, we're on to about page 9 now in the book.
Okay.
I mean, have you been following along in this class?
Yeah, so far.
All right, so the next problem is the future value of an annuity. Do you have the module open? It's on the screen.
Okay, yes, I'm seeing it.
Okay. I want you to try this question for me.
Is this where it's on occasion it's handy to know a shortcut? That question.
Mhm. Yeah, this is the one. On occasion, it's handy to know a shortcut for calculating the future value of an annuity. Are you there with this? For example, suppose you plan to contribute 4,000 every year into an individual retirement account, IRA, paying 7%. If you retire in 3 years, how much will you have?
Okay, this one is a little bit difficult for me.
How did I tell you to break down the problem? What did you determine? First and third. What is your N?
Okay, so the number of periods.
Yeah.
Okay, honestly, Mr. Donovan, I'm gonna need some help with this one.
Not a problem, not being on. Does anybody else want to try? I was calling for Benitra. Benitra,
Hi, I'm here.
all right, Benitra, you want to try this one?
You could be on the future value.
Yeah, the future value of an annuity. You've been keeping up with this?
Okay, and the question was, what's the,
What is the N? Marcel, could you mute? Okay. What is the N?
end would be the 4,000?
No, the N equals number of periods.
Sorry. 30 years.
Okay, so N is 30. What is I?
I is the 7.
Is it the future value or present value?
It can be both because it's saying every year and then it's saying retirement, enter retirement.
Okay, now let's read the question on occasion it's handy. For example, suppose you,
Okay, sorry. Okay, if you retire in 30, it will be a future.
okay. And what is the PV?
The
Yeah, what is the annual amount that you're paying?
4,000.
Yeah, okay, so let's go to the calculator. And you're gonna set this up. Is there any other considerations like compounding period or anything like that?
Not that I see.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, I wanted to take a picture because I didn't write the numbers down, but I guess you will call it off me.
That's okay. So you said N was 30. I was 7. And the payment was 4,000.
Mhm.
And we were solving for the future value of this annuity. 377,840.
You know,
377,828. So we're in the ballpark. All right,
what the calculator gave you just now?
377,840.
Okay.
All right, good. So we looked at annuities. Everybody got a fair value of what an annuity is. It's a level amount of annual cash flows. Okay. Now, here they go again, finding the annual effective annual rate. I've given you the calculator. I got to come back to y'all because there's something I am putting wrong. The calculator is causing an error. But I'll come back to you on that, on how to calculate the interest rate on the calculator. One of the inputs I'm putting in wrong. Understanding loan types and loan amortization. Okay, I'm jumping ahead here because we are 11:15. I'm trying to get to this section for the day and start us on fixed income. Understanding loan types and loan amortization. While the number of ways the lender can borrow, negotiate, lender and borrower negotiate the repayment of a loan principal and interest rate is unlimited, we are going to narrow it down to the following 3 loan types: pure discount loans, interest-only loans, and amortized loans. Pure discount loans. The pure discount loan is the simplest form. With such a loan, the borrower received money today and repaid a single lump sum at some time in the future. Such loans are usually short-term in nature. For example, a 1-year, 8% pure discount loan would require the borrower to pay 1.08 in 1 year for every dollar borrowed today. A common example of a pure discount loan is a treasury bill. Treasury bills, as they are called, have terms of 90, 180, 270, and 360 days. A T-bill is a promise by the government to repay a fixed amount at a specific date in the future. The future value is fixed, and the PV is calculated based on the discount rate or yield to maturity. Assuming we have a 360-day T-bill with a maturity value of 1 million and a yield to maturity of 4%, what is the present value? The present value is, they go through it. Let me, okay, this is 360-day basis treasury bill. So, $360 days is the equivalent of 1 year. In treasury, so the period here would be 1 equals N, 4% would be I, 1 million would be the future value, so the present value would be 961,538. 961,538. Interest-only loan. Our second type is an interest-only loan. As the name states, the borrower is obliged to pay only interest until the maturity date, when they must repay both the interest payment and the full principal. A common example of an interest-only loan is a bond. The issuer promised to pay the lender interest over the life of the bond and then repay the full principal and last interest payment at maturity. Paul, are you familiar with them, right? Since you used to be clearinghouse, the clearer for CIFP.
Yes, sir.
Paul, I could tell you about those. And Paul, could you give an example of a bond that you're familiar with?
Well, we do, a lot of our clients have invested in government bonds.
There you go. Give us some things about a government bond.
They're normally offered at a discount, and the government issue government bonds every month, practically.
Wait, whoa. Let's slow down here. I'm gonna have to disagree with you to a certain extent. The bonds are not necessarily offered at a discount unless they're trading in the secondary market. So be careful with that one there. Okay. Here is an offering that appears on the Bahamas government registered stock. This one is a January offering. Has anybody ever seen one of these in the paper? Paula, you're familiar with these, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I can leave this and come back to this because we can start talking about fixed income in a second. And Paula is our expert here. So we can come back to that. All right, so a common example of an interest-only loan is a bond. Issuer promise to pay the lender interest over a life of the bond and then repay the full principal and last interest payment at maturity. Company ABC issues a bond which pays annual interest of 7% and matures in 10 years. At the end of years 1 through 9, company ABC pays interest of $70 on each $1,000 of the bond's face value. At the end of year 10, company ABC pays $1,000 face value plus the interest for year 10 at the total, for a total of $1,070. So you have a bond or a contractual arrangement between a lender and a borrower. The lender says, lend me this amount of money, and I can pay you, I can pay you 7% on the money I borrow from you every year. At the end of 10 years, I can pay you back your principal plus the last interest payment. So what you as the lender would have earned is $70 a year over 9 years. In the 10th year, you get another $70 plus they pay you back the $10,000. All right, so that's what they call an interest-only loan, and the best example of that is a bond. I can cheat with it and I can go back here. Here's the central bank. Here it is. They have various tranches they go. You want to borrow in total 10 million, 10.5 million. And they want to borrow 3.5 for 3 years, 2 million for 5 years, and you have the fixed interest rate that they're going to take. They tell you the maturity date on the loan and how they are going to pay interest. This is the equivalent of how interest is going to be compounded. The minimum investment for government register is $100. Any increment thereafter is also $100. They give you when this auction is going to open and when it's going to close. All right? And they tell you what is the settlement date. They tell you how you calculate interest, actual over 365. So this is an example of what they will only pay you interest at this rate for this time period, but at the end of this time period, they will pay you back the last interest payment plus the principal. Amortized loans. With a pure discount or interest-only loan, the principal is repaid all at once. That's with a pure discount. An alternative is an amortized loan where the lender may require the borrower to repay parts of the loan amount over time. The process of paying off a loan by making regular principal reductions is called amortizing the loan. This is what you do with bank loans. Right, Dimitri? A bank loan is an amortized loan in most instances, where you pay back a portion of every payment. A portion of that payment goes towards the principal and a portion goes to the interest. For those of you in the commercial banking sector, this concept is nothing new. Most mortgages require that the borrower pay a preset monthly, quarterly payment that covers all of the accrued interest since the previous payment plus a portion of the outstanding principal. The payment is chosen such that the full principal is repaid by the end of the term of the mortgage. Any questions so far? Because we're going to leave this section. Now we're going to go into understanding some security. So we're going to go into savings and investment products. Any questions thus far? Great.
Which page is that, sir, you're going to now?
This, I think this might be on page 13. Yes, page 13. Good?
Yes, I have it, thanks.
Okay. So these are the various investment, savings and investment products, fixed income, equity securities, derivative products. We're going to start and try to complete fixed income securities today because we got about half an hour. Okay. Fixed income products involve a lender of money and a borrower of money. The details of the contract between the lender and borrower is what defines a given fixed income product. Going forward, we will refer to fixed income products as bonds. Certificates of deposits. Debt instrument issued by a bank that usually pays interest. Maturities may range from a few weeks to several years. Interest rates are set by competitive forces in the marketplace. So that is a certificate of deposit is an instrument issued by a bank. Treasury bills. A short-term discounted government security sold through competitive bidding at weekly and monthly auctions in denominations from 10,000 to 1 million. Those are treasury bills. Treasury bills. Treasury bond. A marketable fixed interest government debt security with a maturity of more than 10 years. And the bonds make interest payments semi-annually. Treasury bonds are issued with a minimum denomination of 1,000. They are initially sold through auction in which the maximum purchase amount is 5 million. If the bid is non-competitive, or 35% of the offering if the bid is competitive. A competitive bid states that the rate that the bidder is willing to accept, it will be accepted depending on how it compares to the set rate of the board. A non-competitive bid ensures that the bidder will get the bond, but he or she will have to accept the set rate. After the auctions, the bonds can be sold in the secondary market. Couple of things, a lot of things. But in our market, the treasury bonds are the equivalent of our government security. Treasury bonds is with the U.S. Treasury. Unlike the treasury bond, government securities, the minimum deposit denomination is 100 instead of 1,000. They are $100 instead of 1,000. They are sold, the government sets the rate, as you can see by this perspective. The government has already set the interest rate. The increments are $100. They give you all the status and the interest is going to be paid semi-annually. Now, corporate bonds. Corporate bonds often pay higher rates than government or municipal bonds because they tend to be riskier. The bondholder receives interest payment and the principal, usually 1,000, is repaid on a fixed maturity date. Generally, changes in interest rates are reflected in bond prices. Bonds are considered to be less riskier than stocks, since the company has to pay off all its debt before it handles its obligations to stockholders. Corporate bonds have a wide range of ratings and yields because the financial health of the issuers can vary widely. All right, A treasury bond is a government bond in our opinion. Can anybody give me an example of a corporate bond?
I'm gonna go on a limb here. Would that be like shares purchased, let's say, what's the place where they were selling it the other day? Rev or Cable Bahamas, something like that?
You got it. You absolutely nailed it. Cable Bahamas alive. Those are the two words. Now, I sent out something this week. I thought you were to jump all over that.
Oh, I did. I shared it in my work group and I got so many questions. I said, please wait for him to give me some more information.
Okay, what are you talking about?
You're talking about the, that's the bonds, I think, that's going to be offered. Yeah,
By whom? Whom are they gonna be offered by?
that's the government. No, not the government. That's the port, the new port, right?
That's a corporate bond.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a corporate bond. Good stuff. Municipal bond, a debt security issued by a state, municipality, or country in order to finance its capital expenditures. Now, how does a municipal bond differ from a treasury bond? Anybody want to take a stab at that? Anybody? 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 All right. In the United States, you know, the government, what they say is the federal government. Yes? That's the government, the overall government of the United States. Underneath that, you also have state government. Like the state of Florida has a governmental structure. Yes? Okay. The state of Florida can issue bonds in order to finance its expenditure for that state. Hypothetically, suppose we view every island in the Bahamas as its own separate state. Suppose there was a government, there is local government.
I just going to say that indirectly, local government.
Okay, suppose local government of every island had the ability to issue bonds. They would be municipal bonds. It's issued by that government or that state or that island. Okay. Now, they also go into certain things like bond ratings. Obviously, depending upon the bond, the type of bond, there are rating agencies just such as Standard & Poor's and Moody's that are professional analysts that go around and they rate bonds depending upon the strength of the country, the strength of the company, and so forth, to give the potential investor some guidance as to the level of risk associated with investing in that particular instrument. I'll leave that for you guys to read. Key features of fixed income security. Term to maturity. How long is the term of the bond? Is it a 30-year, 3-year, 10-year, 7-year? Maturity date. The date on which the contract is terminated. Par value, also known as the face value or principal of the bond. I just told you, government government of Bahamas issued bonds with a par value of $100. Trading at a discount. This happens when the bond's price is less than the par value. Take for instance, let me give you an example. When you invest in a bond for 30 years or 3 years, the expectation is that you will hold the bond to its maturity. However, things happen. And there may be an instance that you need to sell or liquidate this bond ahead of its maturity date. Is there a mechanism for you to do so? Yes, it's called the secondary market. However, you may have to sell that bond at a discount to its face value. In other words, instead of getting $100 for every bond, you may get $98, $99. What that depends upon is what is the interest structure in the marketplace. You get into that later. But there is this selling at a discount normally happens with, particularly with bonds, when interest rates change. Trading at a premium. The bond price can also trade at a premium. So that instead of just getting 100, you may get $101. Depends upon how has the interest rate curve changed since you bought that bond. Coupon rate, the interest, this is the promised interest rate that the issuer agrees to pay each year. Zero coupon bond. These bonds do not pay coupons, but they usually trade at a very significant discount to par. And you get the whole thing back at maturity. Variable/floating rate securities. The coupon is linked to a predetermined interest rate benchmark, and as the benchmark interest rate changes, the coupon is reset. Accrued interest. The buyer of a bond takes ownership as at a given date, which is usually between coupon payments. When the next coupon payment is made, the new bond owner gets the entire coupon, despite the seller having owned the bond for a portion of the period since the last coupon payment. Since the seller of the bond is owed the interest earned between the last payment date and the sale date, the buyer must pay the seller this accrued interest. All that is if I buy a bond between the interest payments, I got to pay the seller of the bond the interest he would have earned up until the date that I buy the bond from him. Because when I become the owner of record of the bond, I can get the full coupon payment. A callable bond issue that allows the issue of the bond to pay back the principal before maturity is a callable bond. Okay, I'm going to let you all read the rest. Could you kindly read ahead for me for the next class to know how interest rate and bond prices, the relationship between them? About 11:45, I'm going to stop now. Are there any questions today about what we've covered or what about the course in general and or the exam?
Yes, I would like to know if it would be possible for you to give us like a a makeup worksheet or a mock sheet in reference to the exam so that we can have some idea. Like I say, for me, just getting into this financial calculator, because you know, I heard someone said in the last class, the ones that we have on our desk don't take you all the way here. So it's just now getting yourself familiar. And so if you could just have a little exam so that you could know exactly what to expect and, you know,
Yeah,
make sure you could work it out.
Basically, I'm gonna set the ground question, okay? Where am I gonna get them questions? I don't online. So rather than you saying, what is a market drop? Go online, get some questions, practice them. All those questions I gave you, I found online.
So do you have a particular site that you could send us?
I can't tell you that, Ms. Owen. Go try that. Now, after the course is finished, Miguel is gonna give you a mock exam with old questions. I was done by old questions. All right, there will be a mock exam. But that mock exam is gonna basically cover all of the course material. My section is probably, in my section, out of all them, you would probably get about 20 questions from my section. And in those 20 questions, I got to try to cover a lot of material. My concept is not to trick you. It is to test that you have a working knowledge of the time value of money and portfolio management, as well as some general economic knowledge. The exam is not designed to trick you. I do tell you read the questions very carefully. And taking an exam, believe it or not, is an art. And that's why I tell people spend a lot of time reading the material. And they never practice taking the exam, timing themselves, making sure they're finishing in the same time period. Exam conditions is totally different from studying conditions. So you need to know, you need to practice putting yourself under that pressure. A lot of people I know, honestly, they cannot take exams. They go blank. Because to them, they've worked themselves up to the point like, this exam is a life or death matter. No, it's not. So again, every chance you get, I showed you how to go in and look at YouTube videos. Go look for some YouTube videos on what are bonds, what are this, and so forth. Even short videos, almost 5 or a couple of minutes. So you improve your general knowledge. Get some questions, test the questions. I can find those questions right online. Okay, any other questions, comments, observations?
Just a reminder, Mr. Jonathan, that I think it's me and Paula who didn't receive any of the emails with the practice questions you would have sent. So if you could remember to send those over for us.
All right, hold on 1 second. Members of Dawning, because members of Dawning will 50, okay? All right, give me your email, TREN,
IQUE
IQUE,
_
yes,
0910
091.
@hotmail.
And who else didn't get?
I didn't get the practice questions.
And who was I?
Paula,
Paula, give me your email address.
PAULA_HILAIRE@yahoo.com.
Great. You should have them. All right, is there anything else? Okay, ladies and gents, there's nothing else, please. I'll see you next week. You have my email and my number. If there's anything you need to contact me for, please feel free. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
All right, good afternoon, everyone.
All right, have a great day, guys.
Okay.
Good day to all.